Hello friends and welcome to the Common Corner. I like to always be honest about the situation that I'm in, or the physical point in time, I guess, whenever I film my videos. So it is currently a little bit past 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. My candle is not going to want to light and I will be leaving to the airport to go to Switzerland in about 30 minutes. So this will be kept short, but I realized that I do not have the time to introduce you to my new media library if I don't do it now. The weekend has been very busy and I've had a lovely time, but the days go quickly, as we can notice now. I'm going to have to put this to the side, and this is a strange Common Corner video without a candle, but sometimes change is good. We will put it that way. I'm also going to expose us a little bit more light. So I was going to buy a brand new notebook for this idea that I had had in my mind for a while, and I described this in my last video. The idea is borrowed from a YouTuber called Mina Lee. I think her YouTube handle is Gremlita. And she was recently in Switzerland and she took a book to her trip and described this little notebook that she brought along as well as her media library, where she notes down the things she reads. She also notes down what she thinks about it and takes notes, etc. A little bit like a commonplace book, you'd say. But it was this idea of a media library that stuck with me, and I couldn't shake it after that. I have numerous notebooks from the past 10, 11, 12 years. I've only kept a daily notebook, a daily journal in the past 2 years, but I do have books from many years ago, and I always note down the movies I watch, the films I watch, TV shows, podcasts I listen to, YouTube videos or channels that I follow, and books that I read. But they're all scattered across all of those books. So the idea I had is to compile all of them into numerous organized lists in one notebook. And like I said, I wanted to buy another notebook for it because sometimes you just get that new notebook itch. But I realized that I still had this old Kokio spiral lined notebook with really good quality paper that came with my notebook cover. The one that you always see in my videos is a Kokio systemic black cover, and it comes with a spiral rind notebook. So I will now reveal to you the front of it. I'm very excited. Here it is. So, as you can see here, it has a see-through cover on it. I'm not going to get another cover for it because it always just stays at home with me. This is not something that I work on every day at all. So it's just going to stay looking like this. So it has a see-through cover. As you can see, I did a little DIY and I borrowed this idea from This Jo Journals, who I've seen her do this many times before, where she just puts a hole through the back of the cover maybe that she's working in, and then puts a string through it, and then you have kind of like a traveler's notebook style close. I have a little camera charm on here as well because it just kind of feels like media, you know. This is also by Travelers Company and also Jo Journals. This Jo Journals gave it to me. Thank you, Jo. When you open it, you can see a cover page for it, which you can also see when it's closed, which I really love. And I gave you a little spoiler in my previous video where I talked about using this postcard already in my next notebook. And this is from a dear pen pal of mine from Hong Kong. And as you can see, media library. There's a little girl from Yoshitomo Nara playing the guitar, and music, media, yes. I decorated it with a few things. These are a few Japanese paintings that I have stickers of, media. I have my Common Corner 4-leaf clover, notes, and a little star. I love this notebook already so much. So I'm gonna quickly run you through it, and that shall be it for this first half of the video, which I will hopefully publish while I'm in Switzerland, which I'm leaving to in about 20 minutes now, maybe. Actually, maybe 25. Anyways, so when you flip over, you of course get to the index, and I decorated this a little bit with a sticker from this big artist sticker book that I got from Tate Modern. A bit of kind of very thin wrapping paper, or not wrapping paper, that thin paper that you put in like gift bags, and a few like paint tubes. The index will be here, which I haven't started to fill out yet, but I think it will be very, very useful in the vast future. Since this will be a book of lists, it will be a log, a media library, like I've said, of everything that I consume. And I've calculated that I should be able to use this for at least 10 years. My stubbornness is a character quality that sometimes isn't in my favor, but my stubbornness also means that I'm very good at keeping up with what I set my mind to do, because I'm very stubborn and I won't give up on it. So I'm very excited to continue using this for such a long time. Okay, so I just have a few decorations here and there. It has a total of 83 pages, and we start by building an archive. So this is my favorite prior to my 20s. I have kept a list of all the things, but they're not really as relevant for me at the moment, or no longer are as relevant, especially if I remember nothing about the book or the film. It's not really worth it for me remembering that I've seen it, if that makes sense. So I've just noted down the ones that have had a real impact on me prior to my 20s. And I put it down to movies and films. I sometimes like to use it like interchangeably, but sometimes there's a film that is more a film than a movie, to me at least. I have my books, YouTube channels, TV series, music, and the books were continued because there was a lot that I enjoyed prior to my 20s. And then we start with the films. So I put films 1, so whichever category we're in, I will be numbering the lists, and also there will be the years that list took place in. So this was, once I entered, the 20s, so 2020 and onwards. Once I entered my own 20s, I guess you can start to work out my age from there. So from 2021 until end of 2022, this is a list of that. I've started to fill it in. I have yet to finish everything. And I will be also putting down the rating that I noted for that movie or that film in my Hobonichi Cousin, or in another notebook basically. And that continues here. And then we switch to, so this is already films that I watched in 2023, and that's already when I had my Hobonichi Cousin, and I was rating the films that I was seeing, and I've kind of done a little bit more work here. So I was kind of still trialing out this book, so I haven't completely filled up everything. But yes, this is now films watched in 2024, and I have the rating for everything, and it looks quite cool. I really like how it looks. And so I'll be very quickly able to see which films have been my absolute favorite. So in 2024, out of the films that I watched, Poor Things and All of Us Strangers were one of my favorites, and also Perfect Days, which I've now seen 3 times. So you can very easily then pinpoint these things from the past. Imagine that we go forward 10 years, and I'll be thinking, what was that one film that I really loved that I watched like in the beginning of my 20s? And I'll be able to note it down, or I'll be able to see it from here. Okay, and then films are going to continue here for 2024. Of course, now it's 2025. That's going to have its own spread. Then it's books list number 1. Once again, the years, 2023, 2024. I did not read a lot in 2023. Books continued, and 2025 books is going to be also here. Music list number 1. Series list number 1. So any of the series that I've seen, basically. I feel like, I'm just very excited to keep hold of all of these. Exhibitions 1. This is especially something that I need to put a little bit, do a bit more research into on what I saw in 2024. I need to go basically back in all of my books and pick out the things that I've seen. But it feels very nice to have all of it in one place, if that makes sense. And I've left a full double spread plus basically 3 pages for the films that I'm seeing in 2025. I've watched a lot so far already. And then I have games. This is going to include board games that were important to me as a child and are important to me now. The games on my Nintendo, so Nintendo DS in my childhood, the Wii in my teenage years, and then at the back I've put in my Animal Crossing leaf sticker. So I'm gonna put the games that I now play on my Switch, number 1 being Animal Crossing. Then YouTube channels, everything on kind of this side, like the general channels that I watch and have watched in the past as well. And then from 2023 onwards, journaling channels. That's kind of how I plan to go on with it. And as you can see, there are plenty of pages here. The paper is very nice. It holds my fountain pens absolutely perfectly. There's very minimal shadowing even. I use an old Muji stencil to make the titles. And basically whenever a list finishes, for example here, whenever this films 2, this list finishes here, I would just go to the next available page and note that as films 3, and always just make sure to put in the year that those films have been archived from. So that's the basic idea of it, and I cannot wait until the end of my trip to show you this. So I've made now a little bit of time before I travel. And I am excited to keep you updated with this as the years go by, hopefully. Okay, I hope you're having a lovely day whenever you're watching this, and thank you for the space that you are part of creating, where I get to share something like this that makes me so excited and I hyperfixated on for 4 hours on a Tuesday afternoon last week when I was supposed to do my dissertation. I did this instead. It was a great use of time, to be honest. Okay, I'm now gonna head to the airport and I will hopefully film a few clips for you from Switzerland. Bye bye.
Making it just approaching 4:10.
Yeah.